Whether you know it or not, the content creation ecosystem is about to be hit with an absolute tsunami of AI generated content. And a lot of people seem to think that we're going down this path where there are going to be these infinite content machines. These are essentially machines where anybody with a laptop can literally generate endless amounts of videos with a click of the button, which is inevitably going to lead to a monumental increase of content on people's feeds. Some people are excited about this, especially businesses. Other people not so much, particularly content creators, because there's going to be more competition, it's going to be harder to stand out, and people's content just isn't going to be seen. And I think the key to beating these machines is to not just ignore them and just try and create without AI. I think it's using AI to build your own custom machines yourself based off of your own creativity, technical ability, insights, nuances, so then you can actually create a machine that delivers an output that is better than everybody else's. And so in this video, I'm just going to talk a little bit more about that concept so that you can have a little bit of an idea of how you can stay ahead as a creator when this tsunami eventually comes. So right now, a lot of creators see AI as a threat, but I actually think that it is one of the biggest opportunities in content creation history to leverage. I don't think we're heading towards a world where AI replaces creativity in its entirety. I think we're heading towards a world where people build these custom content machines that are essentially custom AI workflows that don't just help you create content, but help you create it faster and better. And at a very basic level, this is taking your best ideas and making them even better. It's writing scripts 10 times faster that perfectly capture your tone of voice. It's using image and video generators to create visual mood boards, to give you direction in terms of your style, and to also potentially put into your video as B-roll or A-roll. But I think a lot of people are still seeing this as a problem, because right now there is a lot of bad AI content out there, often referred to as AI slop. And that's because people are just lazy and they're just copying trends and other people because it gets attention. But jumping on trends with AI slop is very hard to build a sustainable brand with. And at the same time, there is actually good AI generated content. I know you might disagree with that, but as someone that consumes a lot of content in the space, there actually is. And you have to ask yourself, why is there content that is good and why is there content that is bad? And it's all to do with the person behind the machine and the tools, because these people have figured out a way to use them with their own skill set and creativity to create something that stands above the rest and gets people bought into their content and their brand. And it's not just one video on the feed. And if we ask ourselves, what are these people doing differently? This could be from doing something simple like training Claude or ChatGPT on specific storytelling methods combined with unique ideas and angles from their own niche and their own perspective. It could be from the fact that they have previous experience in design or storytelling or just storyboarding and they have just good taste. You can't buy taste, and that's what not a lot of people have. And I think the key is using AI as a critical thinking partner, not just a writing assistant. Get it to understand how you create, how you think, how it can help you stand out. And that seems fairly obvious, but most people right now are still not doing it. And if you take this one step further, you can start building custom workflows in NaN where you feed research/ideas from Claude into script templates, which feed into Midjourney prompts that create visual concepts, which further help build the style of the video that you then execute on. And these outputs aren't always perfect, and it does require time to set these up, but we are moving towards a world where these sorts of workflows are going to get easier and easier to implement. It's going to get easier to create. But the thing is, most people will still just take the lazy route and do as little as possible. And so their content will just continue to get lost amongst everyone else doing the same minimal amount. And this has kind of led me to realize the future isn't about who has access to the best AI tools. It's about who can build the best custom AI workflows. Because what's going to happen next is, as these tools get more sophisticated, we'll reach a point where every creator can build custom workflows. And if anyone can build custom workflows, every creator can automate large parts of their content creation workflow. And so you have to ask yourself, what's going to separate people from this new bar or standard of content and the people above it? And that's when I've kind of realized that the new huge part of being a content creator is staying at the forefront of new AI technology. Whether you like it or not, you need to figure out how you infuse your unique insights with AI capabilities. It's about identifying your unfair advantages and figuring out how you can amplify them into better content. And so you're going to need to shift your mindset and approach to content creation and adapt to the new technical possibilities. And in my opinion, this isn't too dissimilar to using editing software and upskilling yourself on how to do certain things in order to get a desired output that's unique to you. No one's ever been afraid of other creators getting access to the same tools, because your competitive advantage isn't the tools, it's how you use them. And I know it's not apples to apples in this case, but I do think there are some similarities here in the content creation process. And the result of having this approach is that your content gets harder to replicate. But you might say, what happens when there are tools that can just replicate any piece of content in a matter of minutes? I don't think anyone knows the answer to this right now, but my 2 cents is technology will never stop evolving. If we reach a point where a tool can replicate absolutely any piece of content and everyone has access to that, there will be new technology that goes beyond that you need to leverage to stand out above the noise. And so it's your job to keep evolving with that new technology. And also, just a side note, I think when we reach that point and the technology is that good, content creation is the least of our worries in the world, because if the technology gets to that point in content creation, the technology will get to that point in every single industry, and nobody knows what impact that is going to have on the whole world. In terms of content creation, we might see platforms enforce stricter regulation around AI and copying. We might see new platforms arise where AI generated content is banned. And so I do still think there's going to be a lot of shifting happening over the next 5 years when we get to a point where AI technology is, 1, indistinguishable from reality, and 2, people can just copy and paste anything they want at will. But I think until we get to that point, it's not something really to worry about, because right now, at the end of the day, AI is just a tool. It's not a replacement for what you do. It's you with the machine. If you can embrace that, you can turn this seeming threat into a superpower, right? Don't worry about what everyone else is doing. Just worry about what you're doing, what content you're creating, and how you can use AI to make it better. Because you can now be more productive than ever. You can crank out drafts, generate visual concepts, or edit videos faster, and also be more creative. And you can use AI to explore your creativity and ideas in seconds rather than brainstorming over a number of days. And that's not to say that brainstorming over a number of days isn't going to be valuable. You know, go out for walks, experience life. This is going to help you create new ideas. But again, we can take these ideas, we can use AI, and we can make them even better. And yes, if everybody is now doing this, the playing field of content creation is going to get a lot more crowded, right? However, the opportunity is now to rise above the noise, and your job is to figure out how you use the technology to your best advantage. Don't try and compete with AI on speed, compete with it on depth, perspective, usefulness. In other words, let the masses race to crank out infinite posts while you think about how you raise the bar for yourself. Because the infinite content era is coming, and your own blend of creativity and now technical skill will be your competitive advantage.